If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution. Because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children. And not for coworkers either. And yes, that includes you, Cindy. Seriously, only hippies like the smell of patchouli, and it's to cover up the weed, man.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm JJ. That's my friend Deacon, and we meet here every morning at 6:30 to talk about the news and politics and media and culture, pop culture, and just alligators floating on logs sometimes. Who knows? We don't know. But that's what we do. And you know what? The most important thing is that you come here, you listen to us talk about, I don't know what. We tell some dad jokes. You get a little chuckle. Are we super funny? No, we're not super funny. No,
but we're real people, and we're not putting on a fake persona. And because you turn it over to any of those other people that you're watching podcasts in the morning, and they're going to be fake to a point. And that's one thing about JJ.
Yeah, we're being genuine, authentic, if you will, and we absolutely choose to start the day positive so that the rest of the day is going to be super great, right?
Shit, the hell we do.
I do. Good morning. How are you doing, Deacon? Deacon's probably been up since 4:30 trying to figure out how to sign into his phone.
Okay, so here's the so as we were on the show yesterday, my phone just went black, and I think what happened was, and I don't slam my phone or anything, but I don't know what happened. They said it might have come unplugged, and it'll cost $200 to check. I was about time for a new phone anyway. That was more.
How old was your phone? How old?
I was more. That $200 was more than I owed on my phone.
Oh, okay. Wait, are you in like a contract thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got a nice phone. I wanted the foldy phone, but it was $2,000. It was $1,700, and I was like, I don't want to pay $1,700 for that novelty.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, that's beside the point. So anyway, my screen wasn't working, so they can't transfer anything from one phone to the next. The phone was working. The phone was on, but they can't transfer. And I was like, you're kidding me. And he was like, no. And I said, you mean to tell me in 2023, we don't have a program or an app or something to transfer data from one phone to a new phone? He's like, yeah, there's one on there, clone the phone, but you got to be able to tell both phones. You got to be able to talk. I was like, that's what I'm getting at. There's not one for people that break their screen and you can't access the phone anymore, because that's a very common thing. That's not uncommon. It's very common.
People break their screen all the time.
And want your photos and stuff. And I looked at him. He said, no, they're not going to do that, because that would cause cops to do this and cops to go in and do this and do this. And I was like, let me tell you something.
That kid's bullshitting you, bro.
That's what I was like. I was like, dude, if I looked at him, and Ashley was like, oh, because she thought Andy's going to get a little iffy about this, because I was starting to get a little loud talking to this guy, but I wasn't mad. You know, I wasn't putting any rudeness in my voice. I was just getting a little louder. And I said, let me tell you something, dude. If you invent that, you make that app, you won't be working in this place anymore. You'll be an instant millionaire.
All right. Do you still have your old phone?
No, it was bricked, so I just traded it in. I was like, how much do I owe on this? And they were like, blah. And I was like, I'm paying this off. If I pay this off, can I then trade this in for this phone? And they were like, yes, it will be worth up to $500. And I'm like,
up to $500?
Now,
oh my gosh.
I don't care about the little pictures that I've missed.
Yeah.
I've missed some pictures, but most of my stuff I either send to somebody else,
right?
And then I've had 20 people be like, Google Photos, Google Photos, Google Photos, Google Photos. I was like, I wasn't signed up. Ashley and I just had this conversation like 3 weeks ago. And I was like, he goes, they're all in your Google Photos. And I went, I don't have Google Photos. She's like, yes, you do. She looked at my phone. She's
Yeah.
like, "You must have deleted
It's
it.
like
You're not even
it's like
signed up for it."
$2 a month or something like that. It's like not very much.
Worth every penny. Worth every penny, because all my apps and stuff, I'm like looking at my homepage
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, I got 7 open slots and I don't remember what all was on my homepage. I just remember my important stuff. And that's what I was telling that one guy. I was like, I have apps that I only use once every 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, dude.
But I will use them once every 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
You know, Sky Eye, I don't use but once every 2 or 3 months. But when I want Sky Eye, I'm like, boom, boom, boom. All right, what is that? Oh, that's so and so.
I got apps that I use like literally once every other year. But but I don't like downloading them.
I don't want to download them again.
Like, so I just get them and I stuff them in a folder.
Yeah. So
yeah, like
so
if for like I don't regularly buy a car. But every once in a while, I want to know something about a particular model of car. And there's like cars.com you can search and filter and whatever. And I'm like, I don't want to be Googling this stuff.
My problem that I'm having right now is that I'm trying to get logged into Discord on this new phone.
Yeah.
And it's wanting me to, it's sending my authenticator was a Google authenticator. And it's on my other phone too.
Yeah.
So I downloaded them both for this phone, and I'm running this authenticator for the Discord, and it's not set up to the Discord, so it's not giving me the correct 6-digit code. It's just giving me a 6-digit code. It's not giving me the one for Discord. So in order to log into the one on Discord, I have to have my 8-digit backup code.
Right. Yeah. The printout,
which I can easily get from Discord by clicking the little button.
Because you're signed in.
When I clicked, I am signed in
on your browser.
Clicked that little button. I just clicked it a second ago. It says, "Will you retype your password just to make sure it's you?" I'm sure. So I retype my password, and it's like, it doesn't match. Doesn't match. That's what it's been saying. So this is what I did. I went over to my password manager on my settings in my Google. I typed in my Windows password. I got my Discord password, which was the exact same thing that I had been typing. I copied it. I pasted it into Discord when it asked me, that's not the right password, man. So I don't know what the fuck to do. I can't get in Discord on my phone because I can't get the digit code because it's not accepting my password now. So it's one little headache after another.
Is it possible that you changed your password at some point?
No, it's not. I'm not like you. Me and JJ had this conversation last night, and he was like,
you can't tell people.
Did you change your password? And I'm like, all right, I use the same password.
I'm gonna give
for everything. No,
I'm gonna now.
No, you don't. I know the speech you're gonna give. You don't have to.
Well, it's not for you. It's for all the kids that are listening.
All right. Yeah, all you kids that are listening.
All you kids that are listening that usually take dad advice and throw it straight in the trash can. Here it comes.
Here's another one.
You do not use the same password everywhere. You do not use a password that you can remember. You use a password manager to generate random passwords and save them all. That's what you do.
Wait a minute.
I have
JJ.
Deacon, how many passwords do you have? How many passwords do you have?
Explain to I have one. Will you explain to the people what you do for a living? What's your job entail?
I work in tech.
Ding ding! There's our winner.
Man.
Okay, how many passwords does Deacon have? I have one that I use for everything. When it requires a capital letter or another symbol, it has a capital letter and an exclamation point at the end.
That's so dangerous, dude.
So, wait a minute. You being a working tech guy, how many fucking passwords do you have? No. I already know the answer. Kids listening at home and taking notes.
Last night I told you, but I told you a wrong number. Last night I told you 900, but that was not correct.
And I was like, holy ballsack, Jeff. You've got 900 passwords. And he was like, I'm not exaggerating. Are you fucking serious? What
It's
is
actually
do you not realize that you've got a mental problem?
no, man.
That's a mental
No,
disorder.
I have a security problem that I'm not going to
That's a
get.
mental disorder.
I don't think it's a mental disorder to be secure. I have
JJ, you have
1,017
a
passwords
separate
currently.
password for stupid fucking websites. You don't
Every
use
website.
every.
No.
You don't see where that might be
No.
a tick off in your brain. Maybe
Man.
this electrical signal is
And
going
I'll tell you
somewhere
why.
else that it's
I'll
not
tell you,
supposed to go.
and like I know it's funny and
I
stuff,
love
but
you, buddy.
I'll tell you why, because people have tried to hack my account before, multiple times. People have tried to hack my Google account. People have tried to hack my my Discord partner account.
Let me tell you. You
it's
must
not
have a
happening.
lot more bullshit you must have a lot more important bullshit that you keep online than I do. Because honestly, if somebody were to hack my shit, man, good luck on seeing what you're going to get, because you're going to get a bunch of D&D bullshit and a bunch of D&D pictures.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, but there's just like mischievous people out there. Like you don't even have to have anything valuable. Although I do have my corporate stuff, but like you don't have to have anything valuable, because you have some kids out there to be like, I think I can hack this guy's stuff. And
what are they going to do?
Change your password and fuck you up.
Has it ever happened? No. Do I give a shit? No. Do I want to go through the headache of going to a different password every time I went to a different account and having to go to the password manager and all this bull? No, you have over 900 passwords. How many? Tell the viewers at home how many passwords I mentally did.
I have 1,017 passwords currently.
1,017.
Yeah. And I looked at the security score, and something like 25% of my passwords are used in multiple sites. So that's like really, really old stuff. So I'm only like 75% secure, but that's still a lot better than using the same password. I think I'm more secure than
you. I think that thing a minute ago had like freaking, it's just said that I had a couple of websites that were not secure, and one of them was some bullshit I'd never even heard of before.
Yeah.
My password is a long password that is a mixture of numbers and letters.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's got capital.
But here's the thing.
I'm not changing. I'm not doing what you do. I don't care what you say. I'm not.
Here's the thing.
I think that's
you only have to go to one bad website and use your email and your normal password.
I don't go to bad websites. I don't go to nefarious shit. I just don't. I don't surf the web like other people.
All right, man. I'm trying to help you get back in your Discord eventually.
I appreciate it. You can help me get back in my Discord, but if not, I don't give a shit. I just won't have Discord on my phone anymore, and that'll hamper me quite a bit.
Yeah, that will suck.
I used Discord on my phone all the time. It was one of my top used.
Yeah, dude, I'm on it all the time.
Yeah, and if I can't use it on my phone, I don't know what I'm going to do.
All right. Let's talk about this. Oh, let's talk about music. Tell me some music stuff.
Oh shit, I'm not ready for freaking music yet.
Tell me about Ricky Skaggs, because I turned this thing on and Ricky Skaggs was coming across his mic, and I was like, "Wow, this is cool."
I'm not in a mood now, because we've been.
I'm sorry.
Talking about bullshit. This week, for Father's Day, JJ, talk about something real quick so I can do this. I can't concentrate on two things.
Cool, man. All right. Oh, so actually, Deke, no, I will tell you what happened to my night last night. I know that we talked a little while about your password stuff, but let me tell you what happened last night. I get home, and my wife's out of town. I'm going to add a little story for you guys. I'm 45 years old. I'm a 45-year-old grown man. My wife is out of town. She took my kids. She left yesterday, a couple days ago, and went to her mom's house. I'm in the house by myself. I am by myself. So I spend all day at work, and I'm very productive at work. And I have a plan. My plan is I'm going to come home. I've already and I'm going to paint my daughter's room. I spent an hour yesterday after the show before I went to work using blue tape and plastic and taping it up her room. I took all of her furniture out. It's all taped up. It's ready to go. I'm going to come home last night. I'm going to paint her room. I'm going to do all the edges, and I'm going to paint most of the walls.
Yeah.
And on my way home, I'm driving home. It's about an hour drive each way for me to get to work. On the way home, I'm driving. I'm like, you know what? I never stop and get food on the road. I always either eat a packed lunch or I eat dinner at home. But my wife's not home, and I can go home and eat dinner, but I really want to get home and get right to work. So I call my wife. I'm like, hey, I'm just going to stop and get Chick-fil-A. And she says to me, while I'm driving in the car, she says to me, oh, do you want me to like get on the app and do the thing and do whatever? And I'm like, no, I can handle this. I can handle this. Let me tell you what I cannot handle, Deacon. I pull into Chick-fil-A, and there's a girl standing there. And then like 15 feet later is the box. And I drive up and she's standing there, and I drive and I stop and I roll the window down. I'm like, and she's like wanting me to say something. I'm like, I don't know what am I supposed to go to the box? She's like, no, you gotta take the order. There's no menu. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, they have like a spicy chicken sandwich with like a tomato on it, right? And she's like, oh, the spicy chicken deluxe, da 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll have that. And then and I order in Verizon or something. And then I'm like, so do I go to the window to pay? No, I am confused. I went from driving in like a person that knows what they're doing. Now I'm 45 years old and I'm sitting there in my car looking at this little teenager. I'm like, I literally don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, I don't.
Here's
like
my money.
I love Chick-fil-A, but I hate and I praise Chick-fil-A for everything that they do. But their new drive-through bullshit is
if you know what you're doing, it's super fast. Because my wife is like, blip,
and you've got
I'm just like
fucking picking their nose kids standing out there that aren't going to be, hi, welcome to Chick-fil-A. If you're unfamiliar with our process here, you order here. They're not going to do that. They're going to be like,
right.
Can I take your order?
Yeah. It occurred to me as I was speaking to her, I was like, I'm 45. I can't tell you what year it was the last time that I'd ordered in the line. You can just
pull up and be like,
yeah. Which is convenient if you regularly go to Chick-fil-A or anywhere like that. But like I can't. Dude, it's been years. If I drive through Chick-fil-A, it's because my wife is in the chair next to me and she's already done the thing, and I'm just like, my wife said, get this, and they hand it to me, and I'm like, okay. I don't order food in a drive-through. I didn't know what to do. I called my wife. As soon as I was done talking to her, I called my wife and I was like, hey, guess what I don't know how to do? And she was like, I tried to tell you, dummy. So,
that's not even the rest of your story.
It's not. And then I finally get home and Deacon's like, dude, I'm so mad. I can't get into my phone. I'm like, and then so then I spend like 20 minutes talking to Deacon. I'm like, Deke, do you have it doesn't matter. We'll skip that again. We already did that story.
Right.
Then I'm like, okay, I eat some food. I talk to Deke. I try to get him to calm down a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go paint the room.
Then, I was just kind of bitching.
No, it's hard to tell.
Shit. And you were like,
I know.
Calm.
Don't panic. I looked for a Hitchhiker's Guide. Don't panic. Couldn't find that first. So you got to stay calm. And then I go into my daughter's room. I'm like, okay, let's paint. And then, boom, storm comes through. Rain is literally going sideways across my window and the power goes out. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm painting my daughter's room in the dark. And so that's what I did for 2 hours. I had a flashlight and a paint roller. So we'll find out what it looks like later today. So that's what I did. Isn't that fun, Deacon? All right, Deacon, do you have any music for us?
All right, music. I'm trying to figure out. Music. All right, this week for Father's Day, we for folks that maybe forgot, I got the Louder Than Life tickets for Louisville, and we got Thursday's show. It's a big music fest out there, and we're going to see artists on Thursday, including Weezer and Rancid and Coheed and Cambria, and one of my favorite bands of all time, 311. So. Our music today is, and Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters will be tomorrow since elimination process of elimination. But the 311 is one of my favorite bands of all time. I discovered them. I had a buddy in high school that went across the country to the Mall of America to Wisconsin and did some musical stuff up in Wisconsin, and not Wisconsin, Minnesota. Did some musical stuff up in Minnesota, and when he came back, he was like, "Man, I found this band up there that was it was a band out of Omaha, Nebraska." And so they had gotten up into Minnesota at this time, and they were kind of a local band. They weren't really well known. They weren't a national band, but they had one album out. It was called Music, and he heard it. He was in a music store, and he heard it playing in the music store. And he asked one of the employees, "Hey, what is this?" And he was like, "Oh, this is this band." He went over and showed him, and my buddy bought it and brought it back to Kentucky. And we were like, "This is awesome," because we were the only kids at the time in the early 90s that had this music in Kentucky. We were the only ones that were 311 fans in Kentucky. 311.
What's the song? What's the song that I know? There's one song that I know of 311. What is that one? Isn't there like one that's like, you know what I mean? Like that was the radio top 40 one. Is that one of these two?
Changed a lot and then some.
Yeah,
know that
we
have always been down. If I ever did thank you, then just let me do it now. Yeah, that was the big popular one. That was their third album. That was off their third album.
Right.
So their first album was called Music. It's a really rockin', man, early 90s mix between rap and rock. And it was something that we hadn't heard of back then because we didn't have Korn and all that crap back then and like the new metal. We had this was rap. This was rock. It was rhyming in the middle of each other. It was freaking awesome. And then the second album came out and it's called Grassroots. And Grassroots is one of the best albums of all time. Period.
Really?
I love this album. And our two songs today, I wanted to pick a couple of songs from 311 that probably a lot of people haven't heard. And my two songs today were Homebrew and Applied Science, and they're both from the Grassroots album. Applied Science is one of my favorites because it is the one in concerts that 311 will, and I put a live version of it, but 311, Chad Sexton, their drummer, will do his drum solo in the middle of Applied Science. And Chad Sexton is an old drum corps drummer. He's a marching drummer. He played in the Blue Devils or one of the DCI corps. So he's a marching drummer. And you can tell by the way drummers that listen to Chad Sexton from 311, you can tell that he's an old professional percussionist because he does rudiments. You can hear how clear if you listen to his drumming.
What's a rudiment?
Huh?
What's a rudiment?
Rudiments are things in percussion that's like sticking in different ways that you play things. Like a particular rudiment's called a flam, and a flam is where you take both sticks and one barely hits right before the other. So it's like bra bra bra
bra bra bra.
Called a flam. There's one called a paradiddle where you're going, it's sticking. It's right, left, right, left, right, left, left.
Are you making these words up right now?
No, I'm not. These are drum terms.
And
Chad Sexton's an old drummer. He's awesome. So there you go. And I got to see I got to see 311 a long ass time ago in the 90s. This is one of my favorite stories I like to tell about bands. I got to see 311 a long ass time ago in the 90s in Nashville at a little bitty bar in Nashville. And this band opened up for them that we had never heard of before. It had a chick lead singer. She had her hair all twisted in knots on her head and stuff like that. And they were really good. They had horns and they were like a ska band out of California. And we had never heard of this band. They were called No Doubt. And we were like, oh, they're pretty cool. And then like 3 weeks later, they were all over MTV. And we were like, we just saw that band in Nashville. We didn't even have a clue who they were, and now they're on MTV. So it was I got to see No Doubt, Gwen Stefani.
Because it's been so long since I listened to 311. In my mind, the band is like perpetually like 22 years old or something.
Yeah, kind of. No, but they've changed over the years. A lot of their later albums were a lot mellow, a lot more reggae, for lack of a better word.
Oh yeah.
If you wanted to try to define their music now, it went from rock, a rappy, rocky birth of new metal to like a pot smoking reggae.
Really?
Yeah, but some of it is still kind of that 311 Rocky.
Do you think it's okay? So let me see if I can frame this question a little bit. Do you think it's more disappointing for the audience who only remembers 22-year-old 311 to go to the show and hear like soft reggae music, or is it more disappointing for the members of 311 who are now in their 50s probably to be like, to show up and like they play their songs and like there's a portion of the crowd, but the majority of the crowd only lights up when they pretend that they're 22 and play their like super popular top chart songs?
That's a weird. I would have never thought of that. First of all, that's weird. But second of all, if a person is only going to see a band because of what they liked when they were younger.
Yes. Why would you go? I don't understand why you would go anyway. Why you would go if you weren't going to listen to the music that you liked.
Even when we went to the Chili Peppers concert, I knew most of the songs, but there were some that I didn't know. And me and Ashley have said this before. I have become fans of bands because I've gone to another band and they've opened and I'd never heard of them before. There was a band that opened for Korn called Head, Hedpe. Head Planet Earth is the name of the band, Hedpe. And we walked in and they were like the opening for the opening band. They were nobody ever heard this band decades ago. And we were like, who the hell is this? And they were, me and my buddy Kurtz were like, this is freaking awesome, dude. Who is this? And so because we walked in and they were already playing. I became a Head Planet Earth fan after that. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. Halfway through the Tom Petty concert, Steve Winwood opened up for Tom Petty. All right, Steve Winwood. We know who Steve Winwood is. You probably couldn't name a Steve Winwood song, okay? But Steve Winwood opened up for Tom Petty. And halfway through the Steve Winwood concert, my brother looks over at me and goes, when I go home, I'm fucking downloading the Steve Winwood album. I was like, no shit, dude. This is awesome. So, first of all, when you go to a band, if you don't know the music, don't be like, well, I'm going to look on my phone now. Enjoy the music. Open your mind to something new. And second of all, the Rolling Stones are still performing, JJ. And that's
but what are they performing?
They're performing their hits from 70 fucking years ago.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Brown Sugar. But here's something that I've said many times, okay?
Yeah.
I said this years ago when Willie Nelson came to town. Willie Nelson came here locally and was going to perform, and everybody was like, are you going to see Willie Nelson? Oh, my God, are you going to see Willie Nelson? Going bonkers going to see Willie Nelson. And I was like, no. They're like, why are you not going to see Willie Nelson? You, of all people, why are you not going to see Willie Nelson? And I said, because I don't want I saw Willie Nelson. I don't want that experience. I want the music. I'm not one of these famous people junkies just to see the famous person. I want the music.
Okay.
The music is the most important thing to me.
Okay.
And I love Willie Nelson, and I have listened to his songs that he recorded 50, 60 years ago with his voice that was 50 and 60 years old. The man is in his 90s. He does not have the stamina. He does not have the lung power. Those songs are not going to sound the same. That's why when you go to Willie Nelson now,
you don't want to hear a bad version. It's songs that you like.
Friends. Yes, that's right. And so when you hear On the Road Again, the first thing you think of is that crappy version of On the Road Again that a 90-year-old Willie Nelson sang, and you don't want that. So I don't choose to go to listen to stuff like that because I've got the other stuff. I got to talk real quick. So
and it's time for us to get in the news. Hey, good morning over there on Rumble Chat. I see you, Dragoon Knight, and I don't know who else is here, but hey, what's up? Eventually, Rumble is going to figure this shit out so that I can put chat on screen, but currently can't do that. But good morning, everybody. I'm going to give you I can't give you a thumbs up or anything. I just say hey to you. All right. Let's talk about the news. I think I may have mistitled my show, maybe, but maybe not. I don't know. Today's episode is today is June 22nd. It's Thursday. Weak Republicans failed to censure Adam Schiff last week. Last week, they failed to censure Adam Schiff. This week, maybe a different story. Chaos erupted on the House floor after Adam Schiff was censured over misleading the American public over Trump Russia. This censure was brought forth on the floor of Congress last week and failed. And it looks like it was brought forth again yesterday and passed. Last week, let's see. An initial resolution to censorship failed last week, 225 to 96, with 20 cowardly Republicans voting to kill the effort to censure Adam Schiff. Who's Adam Schiff? This dude right here. Where's Pencil Neck? This dude right here is Adam Schiff, and this POS liar lied to the entire American public with stuff like, I have evidence of the Russian collusion of Donald Trump and Russia in this envelope, but I can't show everybody. This piece of crap person weaponized the House Intelligence Committee against Donald Trump and literally was the center of the Russian collusion hoax for years.
Adam shithead.
Yeah, this guy is such a piece of shit.
He is, man. I mean, he is
you cannot, and he's constantly on like MSNBC or CNN or something and trying to, straight up lie. He's just lying to the American people constantly. I don't know why they have him on other than, they need
a talking head.
They need content. Yeah. So, I mean, if you need a congressman to lie to the American public, this is the guy that's going to do it for sure. So last week, 20 weak, cowardly, small dick Republicans voted against censoring this guy. And yesterday it was brought before the House once again. And instead he was finally censured. So chaos broke out on the House floor right after the vote. Democrats surrounded House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, crowding near the dais and chanting "Shame" and "Santos" as he attempted to read the resolution. McCarthy repeated gavel bangs and did little to stop the jeering. So these childish Democrats crowd around the Speaker of the House and boo and jeer and all of that because one of the other Democrats that lies all the time got basically a slap on the wrist for lying. The censure resolution against Adam Schiff, Democrat from California, former chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, was approved finally by a vote of 213 to 209, with 6 lawmakers opting to vote present. Okay, now Deke, go ahead. What you got to say? What you got to say about this?
Huh? What?
I thought you were trying to get in there and comment. No.
No,
my bad.
My bad. I'm sorry.
I thought you was.
No, was I making noise?
I thought you were trying to interject. This is.
No, I was listening to you. I've listened to freaking people talk about this for all morning and all last night. So.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's important, but I think you're covering it real well.
The resolution featured a provision to fine Adam Schiff $16 million, which is half of the taxpayer money that was spent on special counsel Robert Mueller's collusion probe, according to Anna Paulina Florida, who sponsored both bills. The resolution voted on Wednesday scrapped the fine and made other modifications to win over members of the House. So once they took the fine out, finally some weak-kneed Republicans signed on. Adam Schiff decried the censorship efforts as false and defamatory and accused the Republicans of retaliating against him for holding Trump accountable. He also dubbed it a badge of honor. If you still believe that Donald Trump is an agent of Russia and was working for Russia, my friend, you have been duped for 5 years. The Steele dossier was fake. It was made by the Clinton campaign. It is totally fake. We covered that on the story before. I covered that on the show before. and there's like nothing to it. But this guy used the allegation to not only literally Russia every day for like 5 years. He impeached Donald Trump. He was one of the prosecutors on one of the impeachments that the House impeached Donald Trump, and yet the Senate failed to convict. So a failed impeachment. Yeah. So, and do you think that this guy is embarrassed by this? No, he is. He thinks he's a hero of some kind. This guy is either a duplicitous liar or a complete bonehead, and possibly both. But that's exactly what California wants to represent them. Okay, Deacon. I'm happy that he got censored. He's a piece of shit, dude. He like wasted so much public time going over this Russia stuff. Okay. You have nothing to say about that? The other big news
I don't know what
today.
to say. I mean, I don't know what to say about it. It's just
honestly,
like
I would. You could
this right now.
You could censor every congressperson. I'd be probably okay with it. So the other kind of big news is the Titanic tourists, Deacon.
Today, they got less than 24 hours of air left. I read. So I've been reading. There's a lot of information that's coming out about this guy, about how he was. What was the thing that Ashley sent me last night? Hang on, let's. So she sent me a Twitter link that seemed to be going around about OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush said he did not want to hire 50-year-old white guys because they are not inspirational. He said in an interview he could anyone to pilot a submersible because they use a video game controller as a simulator. So on this,
my God,
story, he basically said that when I started the business, one of the things you'll find, there are other sub operators out there, but they typically have gentlemen who are ex-military submariners, and you'll see a whole bunch of 50-year-old white guys, Rush told a representative with Teledyne Marine in August of 2020. I wanted our team to be younger, to be inspirational, and I'm not going to inspire a 16-year-old to go pursue marine technology, but a 25-year-old, who's a sub pilot or a platform operator or one of our techs can be inspirational, Rush continued. So we've really tried to get very intelligent, motivated younger individuals involved because we're doing things that are completely new. We are taking approaches that are used largely in the aerospace industry and related to safety and some of the blah, 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 blah. So basically, he said, I'm not going to hire a bunch of 50-year-old white guy professional submarine people that have been in submarines for years. I'm going to hire a bunch of the Kool-Aid kids.
I'm passing judgment right now. This guy needs to be sued into oblivion. His company needs to be destroyed by lawsuits from the families of the people that he's taken down under the water in this tin can. I mean, like OceanGate or whatever the company or whatever, it needs to not exist anymore. They need to the family of of the victims of this thing need to sue this company into oblivion. It needs to be destroyed. The Titanic is so cool. You can watch videos of James Cameron and professionals, making videos of that thing or whatever. Normal people, even billionaires, do not need to be getting into a tin can with a video game controller and going to the bottom of the ocean. It's infuriating that this guy did this, and some of the people that got on that sub, they're probably, is this going to be safe? And he or somebody was like, yeah, this is safe. We've done this a bunch of times. It's not safe. Navy operators don't go 12,000 feet deep. Most of the submersibles, most submarines don't go that deep. Where's Brian? Brian haven't been around in a while. Brian would tell us.
So
This shit is not safe.
some of
dude.
the comments that they were saying, that Twitter feed's really good. Some of the comments that I was reading on another post, and they were talking about one of the people were speculating the worst, and they were like, they speculated that the sub imploded down there. It's already imploded, and that's why
It's
yeah, it just imploded.
maybe, but they heard. So there was knocking,
And they still hear the
initially.
knocking, but they don't know where it's coming from, and they don't know what it is, and they can't say that this is where it's coming from. Like it can be something else, is what I heard this morning. That they don't know where it's coming from, but it's not continuous. It's just some sort of knocking.
I don't think that we have a good idea of how enormous the scope of this is. Like you think like, oh, we kind of know where the Titanic is, and they went down there, so it's like in that area. The ocean is enormous, and this thing is as small as like a car, and just currents in the ocean could have just blown it over and just shifted it to who knows where. We may never find this thing.
Yeah, you're right. This thing may not be found for a long ass time.
And there certainly is no vehicle like in the immediate area that can go down and search the entire ocean floor and find it and bring them up in time. I mean, I was hopeful that initially, but like at this point, I think
because you were kind of like,
very
okay,
sad.
they're down there in that one spot, so surely to God they can get somebody down there and get them back up again. But then you kind of realize that you're like, oh, they had to take like a remote rover, and it looks like this ocean thing has got a, I don't know. I don't wish.
I mean, I definitely do not want them to have perished, but I think they
probably
very likely perished. And the
perished. Yeah.
Dude, this thing was, you were telling me yesterday, this thing's running on a Logitech controller. Have you ever had an Xbox game controller with the batteries die? What do you fucking do, man?
Yeah. What if the little $30 Logitech controller, what if one of the solder pieces came off because those sons of bitches are made.
You're right. Or maybe that little stick, you said 3D printed a stick. Oops, it snapped. Oh, shit.
No, I don't want to make fun of this. Yeah.
I'm not, but I mean,
it's
these people put, I mean, to a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. I'm kind of mad at the people that even got on the boat because you were so careless with your lives.
You know what? We used to have a segment on the radio on the morning show, and it was called Thinning the Herd, is what it was called. Thinning the Herd. Some people call it, sometimes you'll hear it called Darwin.
Yeah.
And it was dumb people doing dumb things that ended their lives. And I don't care how much money you have. There are rich, dumb people out there. Most rich people are. There's a lot of rich people that are dumb.
Yeah, yeah. This is in some regards, this is akin to like a small airplane crashed.
Yeah.
Like if you heard on the news, oh, there was a small airplane crash. There were 5 people that died, and you'd be like, oh, well, that's terrible. That's sad. I wish that hadn't happened. That was a tragic accident. This makes me so mad because
why does it make you mad?
It was pointless. It was pointless, and people got on that thing, and the people running it were like, "Oh, it'll be okay. We've done this a bunch of times, and it's not okay." I kind of grieve the fact that they died for no reason at all, and I think they died. Okay, let's talk about something else. Did I already say good morning to Dragoon Knight over on Rumble? I sure did. Oh, man. We're going to be hearing about this thing for days, too.
Yeah.
Hey, I got some good news. You want something bright and colorful?
Actually, I do, please.
Okay, cool. Check it out. LGBTQ2IA plus AASN. Oh, there's a P in there. Hey, there's a LGBTQIAP2S plus pride flag. Hey, it now features an infinity symbol.
What
these
does the
guys
P stand for?
I don't know. Probably. Okay, the answer to your question I can't say on the air. The latest update to the ever-evolving LGBTQIAP2S plus pride flag is now literally includes an infinity symbol intended to symbolize autistic people. They're bringing autistic people into their they're adding autists into their sexual
autistic.
Yeah, happy Autistic Pride Day. Yeah. Valentino Vecchetti, they with a beard. Okay. Oh my God. JJ, you cannot laugh at autistic people. He's an autist. He made that new flag. Hey Deke, are you excited about the new Marvel show coming up? Secret Invasion?
I would have been because I really liked that storyline, and I always liked the scrolls.
The comics? Yeah, that was a Bendis comic run, I think.
Yeah, Bendis is one of the Marvel legendary Marvel writers that will go down in history as one of the legendary storytellers. Man, Bendis, he's got so many greats. He's got so many. Anyway, I've always liked the scrolls, though, even from back in the day. Man, I liked the scrolls. I just thought that they were cool looking and they were cool. You know,
I remember. In fact, I still have the comic of Secret Invasion where they had. I think it was Spider-Woman's body on a table, like but her face was the scroll face, and they figured out like, oh, this is like a Secret Invasion.
Yeah. That's a great one, man. God, I want to go. I think I'm going to go to the library after work and pick that up again and reread it because it's good.
The show is probably not gonna.
No, it won't be the same.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to be the same. I want it to be a different story. That's what we said about Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War and all that crap. And there's like, why didn't you just tell the comic book story? Because I don't want them to fucking tell a comic book story. First of all, the comic book story was gay as hell compared to the movies. The movies were a lot better story-wise from a storyteller standpoint than the comic book. The comic book, he's trying to win over death, luck. Come on.
Yeah. I was never into like the Thanos comic book, Infinity Saga, this Jim Starlin Infinity Saga.
I tried to get into
I've read it, but it's for some people, they love it, dude. Yeah. And it's hard to tell them apart from like the people who just watch the movies now because, Thanos was right and all of that stuff. But Jim Starlin did a bunch of Thanos books.
I don't have my phone from yesterday, so there was a meme that I saw, and it was like something to the effect of, ever notice that the 5 years that Thanos after the 5 years after the snap were relatively peaceful 5 years, and then as soon as everybody reappears, all the goddamn villains start reappearing again.
Yeah, dude. So it was like
Thanos snapped and made peace.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to skip the 5 years because like nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing bad happened. And then the Avengers went and fixed it, and now we've got like Baron Zemo and
we got villains coming in from alternate universes.
We got on the Winter Soldier and Falcon show, you have like people had their houses moved into during 5 years, and now we've got property conflicts. Because people have to they try to move back into their house. No.
Yeah, but that's a problem in the MCU.
It's
a problem in the MCU that you don't really see in the movies is squatting problem in the MCU.
Yeah. Well, how, dude, if you lived there for 5 years because nobody was there, who's squatting now?
It's true. It's true.
You were dead. You didn't exist. This is my house now. You can go sleep in a cardboard box. I don't know. I think I side with the survivors.
Folks, these are the problems that JJ and I like to get down to.
Yeah.
You know, no one else in the media is going to be talking about the squatters' problems in the MCU universe.
Squatters' rights
in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
After the snap.
Have you ever thought about that? I bet you haven't.
Yeah.
See? That's what we're here for. And you're
all
wrong.
right. Well, I was gonna kind of segue into this. So the Secret Invasion trailer is out, and I have literally kind of passively watched it like 3 times. And hold on, wait. I thought it was gonna sneeze. So I've passively watched this trailer like 2 or 3 times, and I just can't care. I don't know where. Hey, what's up, Dragon? Where are you guys at in your Marvel or DC movie TV fandom? Because 11 years ago, I was so excited about Guardians of the Galaxy, and 13 years ago, so excited about Iron Man. For real, I was very excited, and that's come and gone. And now I'm just I just can't care. There's nothing I can do to care about Secret Invasion. Sam Jackson, badass. Yeah, but this TV show,
the only reason I'll watch it is just because I'm with you. When I was younger, I was like, Samuel L. Jackson is a badass and he's awesome. And then as I've gotten older and I found out more about Samuel L. Jackson and his real life, just kind of like, he's a cock.
I was gonna kind of
more. He's not really a badass. He's kind of a bitchy old man now, you know.
He really is. He is really bitchy.
Man. Yeah.
Really bitchy. He is not a badass.
Did you see his face after he lost that? They were kind of commenting on that. Some Tony Award show a couple of weeks ago or something, and he had lost one of the things, and he was sitting there that whole time with just RBF the whole fucking time. After the young kid won or whoever won, he's just sitting there the whole time with resting.
I definitely believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they were making fun of him.
He used to be so cool, and now he's just
he's just a fucking old grumpy asshole anymore.
Yeah,
they did that.
It
was that one movie that turned me around on him. It was I don't even remember the name of it, but he was he moved into the white people, and the white people were terrorists next door. You know, they were Republicans, and they were Republican terrorists.
Oh, what is that movie?
To him, I don't remember what it was called.
Look, the movie that I was initially, it was Pulp Fiction, right? Pulp Fiction, Samuel Jackson, badass MRFer, and then it was
the only reason
A Long Kiss Goodnight, dude. That movie is great.
The only reason he was good in Pulp Fiction is because Quentin Tarantino wrote him some badass lines.
Yeah,
that's the only reason he was good in Pulp Fiction. All right, is because Quentin Tarantino wrote him some awesome ass lines.
I might this might be apocryphal. I may be mistaken, but I think that Quentin Tarantino wrote some of the best lines in the show because he wanted to perform them. But then, a better actor came in and he gave those lines to someone else. But then, at the end of Pulp Fiction, he wrote himself some fiery dialogue for, the scene that he was in at the back of the movie when he calls the wolf. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that scene. Was it called Lake? No, it's not Lakeview Terrorist.
Oh, you're looking up that Samuel Jackson movie.
Maybe it was. I don't remember what it was, and I really don't give a shit what it was.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, there was let's see, Pulp Fiction and Long Kiss Goodnight, and eventually there was Snakes on a Plane. That was kind of good fun.
What? Are you serious? God Almighty!
That was
shit.
That was good fun.
And he was in A Time to Kill. He was Carl in A Time to Kill.
Oh, Kill a Mockingbird. Kill a Mockingbird.
A Time to Kill.
A Time to Kill.
Yeah, John Gresham, A Time to Kill with Matthew.
Yeah. I thought he was in A Kill a Mockingbird.
I don't know. He was in A Time.
Whatever.
To Kill.
Who gives it? Anyway, he thinks Trump's a redneck racist, and I was gonna try to get to that, but
wait a minute, Trump's not a redneck racist. Is that what you're saying, JJ?
No. I mean,
okay.
No. Not according to a lot of other black people that I listen to. According to a lot of other black, and I'm not black, obviously. Even though maybe I could identify as black, I don't know what the rules are. But according to a lot of other people, Donald Trump did a lot more for black people, especially people like a path to rehabilitate and getting out of prison. Like he signed some legislation that helped.
There was a
recover. And there was also the Platinum Plan. He had the Platinum Plan to help people kind of invest in black businesses, black communities.
There was a Twitter guy that I followed that I still follow him. I just have to go and find out who he is. He lives in New York, and he's a black guy that lives in New York, and he walks around the streets of New York with his camera, and he walks up to other black people that are kind of sitting around, and he would ask them about Donald Trump and if they like Donald Trump. And 99.999% of them were always like, absolutely not. They hated Trump. And then he would proceed to sit there and tell them, did you know what he's done for our people, for the black? He's a black guy. He's like,
is this guy on YouTube? I think I follow this channel.
I watch him on Twitter. He might be on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And then he'll explain to these black people in New York, did you know that Trump did this and did this and did this and did this and did this just for the black people, for our black community? And they're all like, no, I didn't know that. None of them knows that. And he was just, he's like, I go around to educate my fellow black people on stuff that they don't know. That's being lied to them. So
just like
good for you, dude.
And just like Black Lives Matter, like everybody's like, oh, Black Lives Matter, and supported the movement or whatever. But then when they find out that
Black Lives Matter, he is actually showing that Black Lives Matter. When
they find out that the organization that makes that claim didn't donate a dime to Floyd's family. They didn't give any of that money to these victims of police shootings or anything else that are their banner calls, and they instead bought mansions and real estate.
How did we get to it? We were talking about
I don't know. Deke, okay, look, we need to wrap up here, Deke. And before we go, I just want to make sure that you're prepared for today, because yesterday was the end of the world. And I slept on it. I didn't realize. But as you probably are aware,
yesterday was the summer solstice, but
no, it was the end of the world. Greta had told us that June 21st. She told us years ago that we had 5 years to stop using fossil fuels to prevent wiping out all of humanity from June 21st, 2018 to now. So that's come and gone. So you mean apocalypse has started.
Someone that predicted the end of the world, it didn't come true? Like, wow, this is another one, JJ. This is another end of the world that we have successfully lived through. Do you have cheers? Where's the people cheering?
Here.
How dare you? How dare you have stolen my dreams, my childhood. How dare you? Empty words have stolen my dreams. How dare you? I'm one of the lucky ones. How dare you?
You're proud of that, aren't you?
I am a little bit.
Wow, man, that's pretty awesome, though.
We are now post-apocalyptic survivors.
Well, we've lived through the Mayans, and we've lived through the ice caps.
And the pandemic. We survived the pandemic. Yeah,
we've lived through all kinds of them. I had a list. I had a list on my old phone of it. I found somewhere where it was like all of the things from 1970 on, all the world-ending catastrophes.
Yeah,
lived through the world. We've lived through. So
we are living in the dystopian post-apocalyptic future. This is amazing. Well, guys, if you haven't already, please share in our joy at survival, and you can demonstrate that by hitting the like button on this video, and should have shared it already. I'm sorry you didn't.
And if you just want to click this QR code right here, that'll take you straight to it. But
it'll take everybody but Deacon over there. You can't join. You can't sign in. Everybody but Deacon. All right. Oh man.
All right. So
Deacon, Deacon, do
Yeah,
you
go to
know
our
how
Discord
many?
server and send us
Do you know how
jokes.
many famous people, men, or women, were born on the 4th of July?
No. 2?
None.
No.
Just babies.
Oh, good God. That was dumb. I didn't get to tell you this. I meant to tell you this earlier, but I joined an amateur autopsy club here recently.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah. Tuesday is open mic night. Come on, that was a good one. That was a pretty good one.
Nice. All right. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow, 6:30 in the morning, rumble.com/JJW. Change your password.